CJ, yes!
Buckle up for Kobe Bryant.
New era.
Oh! A jawbreaker! Curry, way downtown. Bang!
It's all basketball.
A spectacular move by Michael Jordan.
Lace them up. It's time for 1010XL's Open Gym. Leading the break, here's RJ Saunders.
And it is the basketball show for the basketball fan. Welcome back to a show we like to call Open Gym. RJ Saunders here with you. Dylan Denmark in studio as well. But most importantly, you guys are here with us talking the NBA. And we always are much thankful for you spending just a moment of your time with us here on the Superstation. Your way onto the show, as always, the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosure, 641-1010. You can also hit us up on the pop-off line, 904-207-7071. If you can't call into the show, we'll play your voicemail next week. We'll answer any questions or comments or concerns that you guys have with concerns to the NBA or maybe even our show. Or you can hit us on the MyBookie Digital Studios, wherever you are watching and listening to us, if you're using that avenue, whether on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube. Question of the day, a simple one. I don't think I ever asked this question to those who listen to the show. Who's your favorite NBA team? Maybe we'll have some analysts talk about your favorite NBA team. I know we talk a lot of Orlando Magic here. We've talked a bit about the Lakers. We've done things with the Boston Celtics as well, amongst other teams around the association. But maybe there's a team I haven't hit on yet that we haven't spoken about enough yet. We'd love to do that here on the show. So give us your favorite NBA team, 641-1010. So I'll start with this. Companies are always looking for a face of their business. If they themselves, as the owner, the GM, doesn't put their own face on the billboard that is their company. Behind the curtain here, even at 1010, you have your faces here, the shows that you listen to Monday through Friday, but they're always going to be looking also for the next generation. Guys like Dylan Denmark, guys like Emmanuel Thalleran, Mia O'Brien, others. You get the idea. The NBA, they find themselves in a bit of a pickle because, like any other corporation that we have for us normal blue-collar workers, if you don't have a future of your company, young guys coming in, you're going to be nearly doomed to fail. You can't have the old guys staying there forever, nor are they going to want to stay there forever. The NBA hasn't been in this kind of pickle since 94. When Magic and Bird were in the league, they saved the NBA without question. I think the NBA thanked them for it. But when Jordan got in the league, it's okay. It's time for us to make the game global. That's the route in which we're going to go. When Kobe gave kids a different definition as to what hard work and dedication to your craft is, they already had an idea of who was going to be the next face of the NBA. We have the chosen one, LeBron James, and he'll be responsible for making the game mobile, where guys can move and we can have this super team era. Not saying that the NBA thought that that's what LeBron James was going to do, but that's kind of been a lot of his legacy, right? But in 1994, it seemed like the league found themselves in a tough place. Whether you believe the Jordan conspiracy theory that he had to leave the NBA due to his gambling issues and the league just wanted things to die down, so they had him play baseball to stay in shape. Or if you want to take Jordan's words for it, when he had his interview with Ahmad Rashad, many years later at the age of 50, and said that he felt he had nothing more to prove and nothing more to give to the game after he won his third straight NBA title. The NBA is kind of almost having their face in their hands saying, we need to crown a new face of the NBA, and we need to do that now. We really do not have time to let this organically happen because we thought Jordan would at least be here through the rest of the 90s, but now it seems that he doesn't want to play anymore because he has nothing left to prove in his opinion. Who's that next guy? And they tried it. Grant Hill has admittedly said he didn't feel he was ready yet. Now, he took the money. He took the advertising dollars. But he didn't think that it was fair to him to say that he was ready to carry that mantle that they had given to Jordan. They talked about a guy like Michael Finley just because of the Chicago connection. Penny Hardaway, you compared more to Magic Johnson, but he was also a quiet guy. That's what made the Little Penny commercial so great. But could that be the guy that we advertise as the face of the league? I don't remember the NBA really making a big guy the face of their league. I mean, even back in the 60s or even the 70s, Jerry West was your face of the league. So the closest you get is to Kobe, but if Kobe fails, are we going to Vince Carter, North Carolina guy, jumps out the gym? And we also saw had a whole country behind him when he was doing what he was doing in Toronto. Tracy McGrady started to pan out, and there were talks that whose league is it? But at that point, that's 2003. We're 1994. We need a guy now. And it seems that the NBA cannot tell with this new crop of guys who can carry the mantle as the face of your organization. Because the guy that you may have wanted to have be the face in Anthony Edwards said he doesn't want it. And now the league is scrambling, I think, almost deeper than before. They wanted to give the throne to Zion. Zion, he's had his off-the-court issues, also had weight issues. I think the ship has sailed. Not saying he's not going to have a great career if he figures everything out. Heck, if he gets out of New Orleans, goes to a situation where he can just focus on basketball. I think if he figures it out, he'll have a solid career in the NBA. But that was supposed to be the guy. We had seen him since 7th, 8th grade, dunking on children. He's not the guy anymore. Here's another question. Is the guy that is supposed to hold the mantle as the next face of the league after LeBron James, Steph Curry, and KD go, is he even in the league yet? Now, whether they are or not, Charles Barkley had a conversation with the NBA on TNT crew, Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, and himself, and said that you can't just give somebody the face of the league. Rather, they have to take it. Here's Charles.
First of all, you don't give anybody the face of the league. Am I right, Shaq? Shaq took being face of when Magic Johnson and Larry Bird came in, they're like, we're the new sheriffs in town. Shaq took it. Kobe took it. LeBron took it. Steph took it. But I get so annoyed when I hear these guys like, you don't give somebody something. That's one of the problems we got. These idiots won't play in the All-Star game. We've given them so much. They don't have no respect for the history. But you don't give anybody the face of the game. You take it.
Yeah.
The problem is, however, and I love the comments by Charles Barkley, but I don't think anybody wants to take it. Anthony Edwards said during the All-Star Weekend festivities, I just want to be remembered as a guy who plays hard, puts cats on posters, gets buckets, and I get my checks and go home. That's what I want you to remember me as. I don't want to be the face of the association. And that's a lot of us. Blue-collar workers, white-collar workers that work 9 to 5s. I'm not here to be friends with anybody. I'm not here to fraternize with anybody. I just want to do my job, collect my check, go home. I got more things going on. I'm friends with people outside of my job. This is just a means to an end for me. All the other things that you want me to do, not up for it. However, Carmelo Anthony, on his podcast, 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, he feels that the face of the league moniker when it comes to Anthony Edwards is something that the guy has to embrace. Here's Carmelo.
But you can't run from that.
And embrace
Especially when everybody's trying to give it, like they trying to give you the face. You can't run from that. Also, another thing.
He's rejecting it, though. All the
But you
fines
can't,
he did every
you can't
game.
reject it. You can't reject it and then be in 4 to 5 commercials on every. Like, you can't do that. You can't say, I don't want this, and then got Adidas, Sprite, this commercial. Like,
You got that it factor, man.
But
Like,
you can't reject it.
yeah, it's not his choice. To
You
say, I
gotta,
don't
you
wanna
gotta
be the
pick,
face
you gotta
of the
pick a side.
Yeah,
You gonna
you
reject the checks,
either
bro,
you
or-
gonna just play ball and just do what you do, or you gonna. This is what come with being a superstar. This is what wearing the white hat is. We talk about that.
Yeah.
You ready to wear the white hat or not?
I think he
with
gonna
all
be
this
out.
other
I
It
think-
ain't just
Are you ready to
basketball.
wear the white hat or not? Wemby can't be the face of the NBA
because he's not from
because
America.
this is our sport. This is our. He can't be the face. Luka can't be the face. Giannis can't be the face. Shea can't be the face.
Well, Giannis had
Ant
that.
gotta be Ant.
That's going viral.
John,
Right?
Jason Tatum. Like we got. You know what I'm saying? Like these are the faces.
I can understand Carmelo Anthony saying that those need to be the faces, the American-born guys, and we talked about that a lot on Monday. But it seems that the only guy that's going to want to take the moniker, as Charles Barkley stated, and the only guy that seems to want to embrace it, maybe Victor Wembanyama. But does the NBA want to admit our best player, as much as a global entity as we are now, that our best player is not an American-born player? The NBA has never done that before. And you've had Dirk, you've had Steve Nash, 2-time MVP, Dirk an MVP of your league, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic. We can call them the best players. We can call them top 5 players. Not the face of our league. As you can see, the NBA is still holding on to guys like LeBron James, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant as the pillars of our league, and they are on the back 9 of their playing careers. But I don't think it would be a bad thing if Victor Wembanyama was the face. I just think it's a thing of not right now. Break glass in case of emergency. If we don't find the guy, you heard Carmelo Anthony, this is an American-made league. This is supposed to be where the best American players play. You come to us. You come to the States to play the best players in the world. We call our league the best league in the world. Even with Victor Wembanyama being a French-born player and playing on that France team, you didn't hear them say he plays in the NBA for the San Antonio Spurs. It's on the French national team. This guy, as much as he's in the fraternity of the NBA right now, he's the enemy. So if you're not concrete as to who you want as the face in terms of being an American-born player, let us know, 641-1010. Give us a name then. Jason Tatum, it feels like he wants it, but for whatever reason, the NBA is not going to give it to him. I believe that there is an American-born player that can be the face of the league, and he plays right down I-4. Problem is, he's going to have to win. And the Orlando Magic are going to have to get more national TV games for the casual fan. And even a little bit of the diehard, because if Orlando's not playing on national TV, I don't know how many guys are saying the Orlando Magic are a team that I put on League Pass. But there's another name Carmelo Anthony said, and I wonder if you caught it. If not, Gilbert Arenas on Gil's Arena has a name that should be considered maybe again for face of the league.
Who got suspended? They took your shoe off. They got 1,000 emails, and they had to put it back in, and it sold out. Who was that guy?
Kyrie Irving. Demetrius Jamel Morant.
Okay, thank you. That was the person that was next in line. He had a fall.
That's a fact.
All they're doing is waiting for him to clean up.
Yeah.
It's going to be him because the person who controls the kids controls the market.
No, for sure.
That was Kyrie.
I get it.
That's Ja.
I get it.
Those are the two people who controlled the kids. When the NBA is ready, Memphis is coming off that guy.
Now, I do not believe that the Memphis Grizzlies need to trade Ja or that Ja needs to leave Memphis to be the face of the league. They're, I believe, the number 2 seed in the West as we're talking right now. But that's a great question that Gilbert Arenas brings up. How long is it going to be before the NBA takes him out of the proverbial doghouse? Is that going to take another year? Another 2 years? Ja had almost this Allen Iverson death grip on the NBA. Kids want to dance like him. I kept hearing over and over again that annoying, it's a parade inside my city, yeah. Guys want to play like him. But is he too blue for the NBA's taste, like Iverson was? It took him a while to really get with Iverson, but Iverson was a supernova in his own right. Ja had that coming, then he had his off-the-court issues. Do they feel they can trust him? Like Batman kept asking Commissioner Gordon, Harvey Dent, can we trust him? Can they trust Ja, or do they feel if they give him the title, he'll mess up? And then we got to go through this whole process all over again. The NBA is probably going to need to try something new. And Wemby may be your guy. Heck, when Yao came into the league, you said it was great for the association. He was bridging China and the Americas together. And it was great for the league. Wemby, I haven't seen it yet with France, but it seems like he's almost doing the same thing Yao did. And I think an argument can be made, if one hasn't been already, he's better than Yao Ming. And he takes the game very seriously. Heck, I mean, the guy was sick over the fact that he listened to Chris Paul and said, don't shoot a single jump shot during the skills challenge. And then the NBA competition committee had to tell him, you guys have been disqualified because you guys didn't take a real jump shot during the shooting portion of the skills competition. It seems like he is still sick to this day that he lost in the gold medal game to the USA. And he also believes, listen, you can take the All-Star game seriously. We can play hard. How many American-born guys are saying that right now, Adam Silver? But is it a slap in the face to the NBA saying our best guy is now from across the water? We can no longer say that we have an American-born guy as our face of the league for the next 15, 20 years. Because there's never been a face of the NBA that has been replaced while that current face is still in the league. But if there's a guy that you believe right now can be the face of the NBA, post LeBron, post Curry, post Kevin Durant, let us know. 641-1010. Are they in the league currently, or do we still have to wait? Remember, I bring up Paolo Banchero. He and the Orlando Magic take the floor tonight against the Washington Wizards, but it's been a very rough stretch for this ball club as we inch closer and closer to the NBA playoffs. But is this going to be a team that squads don't want to see come postseason play? We'll chat with Kyle Nash next right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
From the preseason to the playoffs and every day in between.
Each man individually preparing himself to be the best he could possibly be. Better than he's ever been. Because that's what it's going to take.
At 1010XL, the season never ends.
Don't miss the Players' Championship, March 11th through 16th at TPC Sawgrass. This can't-miss event features a variety of activities for every fan to enjoy, from delicious bites to the Sawgrass Splash. There are endless fan enhancements that will make for a memorable experience. Plus, watch the top PGA Tour players, including back-to-back champion Scottie Scheffler, take on the iconic stadium course featuring the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
Hi, I'm Karen, owner of Clay Solar Installation Partners, your local women-owned solar company. At Clay Solar, we're more than just panels and power. We're about people. We make the switch to clean energy simple, stress-free, and built to last. If you've had a bad experience with solar in the past, we can help. We specialize in dependable solutions and top-notch customer service, so you can finally enjoy the savings and sustainability you deserve. Schedule your free consultation at claysolar.com.
Join me, Max Fink, as I keep a close eye on everything that happens in Gator Nation.
The Gator Report, polished up by San Jose Collision on the home of the Florida Gators, 1010XL.
Go, Gators!
I'm Stacy, and I want to tell you about my fogged up window fiasco at my house. I called up Mac at Baker Glass. He told me all I needed was a glass replacement. The process was so easy. All within a few days, they came out, measured, called me with an estimate, cut my glass, and came out to install the new ones. Now my view outside is fog-free thanks to Mac and his crew at Baker Glass. And my neighbors think I got some fancy new windows.
I'm back with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Mia O'Brien here for ProJax Roofing. Here at the Superstation, we talk a lot about pros. Pro football, pro baseball, pro basketball, pro sports. But if you want a true pro when it comes to your roof, you should call Mike with ProJax Roofing. Mike's been in the roofing biz for well over 25 years, and when you call, you don't get a recording, you get Mike himself. Find Mike's cell on ProJaxRoofingFL.com. That's ProJaxRoofingFL.com. Don't rely on the third string option. Call in the starter with Mike at ProJax Roofing.
You waited forever for your new fence. Then strangers show up. Subcontractors rushing the job. Sent by the company you trusted. Frustrating, right? Superior Fence and Rail promises better. Their professionally trained builders deliver quality you can trust. No subcontractors, no shortcuts. Just the superior craftsmanship your home deserves.
When you're on the fence, about the fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Hey, Macklemore, can we go thrift shopping?
What? Our next guest calls himself the student of the game, but he has been the teacher of mine since I've gotten into this journalism profession. When I met him years ago at UCF, does a lot of great work covering the Knights in Orlando, as well as a spectacular job scribing for the Orlando Magic. He is Kyle Nash. Make sure to follow him on Twitter at the SOTG, student of the game. And he's so kind enough to give us a few minutes of his time. Kyle, thanks again for coming back on. How are you, man?
RJ, like I would skip an opportunity to take a few shots with you here in the open gym. Are you crazy? Come on, man. By the way, speaking of teacher and student, RJ, listen, I understood the assignment. I heard your previous segment. You're asking for a name, and I didn't hear it. Maybe, and listen, I was distracted beforehand coming on a little bit, but the disrespect and not even hinting at Jalen Brunson is a possibility. I mean, listen, he's in the appropriate market up there in New York.
He is.
The NBA is bigger for Americans when New York is actually good. If they mess around and win something, I'm not here to eliminate that. especially with Wembanyama being sidelined with that whole unfortunate blood clot situation.
He would definitely be a name that you would have to consider. Wonder if the NBA feels he's a bit too small to be the face of their association, but definitely Jalen Brunson and what he's been able to do since landing in New York is a name that should be considered as one of the next faces of the NBA. Want to talk to you about these Orlando Magic here, because it's been a tough ride, and I mean, one of the more surprising things that happened during the trade deadline was the Orlando Magic deciding to stand pat during the NBA trading deadline. And we hear Jeff Weltman on 96.9 The Game in Orlando, and he felt that the team was going to get squeezed and they were going to make a panic move if they were to have given up any future assets or current players to the team. But in your opinion, was it the right choice not to make a move at the trade deadline?
Yeah, no, and this is a great point you bring up, and I wrote about it too on Fans First Sports Network. Bing! You know the trick. Yeah, I got to do that. But I think what he told you, what Jeff told you, was that this year they're considering it a wash. Sure, we still want to make the playoffs, but these lofty dreams and goals of getting into a potential Eastern Conference final run were off the table the moment you had your two top stars in Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner both out for extended periods of time due to the same right oblique injury. What? I mean, you can't even spell oblique.
No.
You got two players out for extended period of time doing that. I think that's what he told you. And listen, the point he makes about not wanting to get squeezed, not wanting to make a desperate maneuver is a valid one, but I think that's a statement he's making out there so that the court of public opinion can't come to a consensus and actually find him guilty of standing pat and waiting too long. And maybe they're waiting for the right move, but I'll put it this way. In a year where you didn't expect the Orlando Magic to be an NBA Finals contender anyway, I'll just say throw in the kitchen sink into a trade for a player that may be just a little bit of a patchwork that might fit in and work to the extent that, Contavious Caldwell-Pope might have been helpful. I agree with him from that standpoint to not set everything on fire. What I'm looking for, if you're a Magic fan, is that for the summer, let's see if he backs his own words and makes the big move there to kind of get in there. I'm hearing talk about the Magic making a big move to try to maybe get Kevin Durant. And listen, if anybody's an Orlando Magic fan out there, you're got a qualm about that because of the injury history for the entire franchise. It's worse than the Madden curse. But I think that's kind of the trajectory. Do I think it's the right move? Well, and we talked about trades before here on here in the Open Gym, RJ, and I got to tell you, I don't think today the problem with being a team, RJ, that is collectivist in its philosophy under Coach Jamal Mosley is that you don't have stars and individual players kind of just by psychology have less value. Right. So what can you actually get in a trade? Sure, they had a whole load of picks that they probably could have made a move with. I hinted at some point maybe throw a large gaggle of those picks after the Luka trade at L.A. to maybe get Austin Reeves. I didn't think it was going to happen, but, let's just be spitballing here. But, yeah, they needed to make a move. I think they will in the summer, but, yeah, they're telling you this year's a wash by not making the move.
Continue our conversation with Kyle Nash, the student of the game. Make sure to follow him on Twitter at @TheSOTG. Would you have made a move at the deadline, Kyle, if you were Jeff Weltman?
Well, and like I said, that's the biggest deal, right? What was out there that you were trying to get? I'm hearing everything from Sexton out there maybe coming in. You needed shooting, but getting a great shooter is expensive. And like I said, I don't think they had anything in the house with enough value to get something that Weltman would have bid on. From my standpoint, I would have tried to put together something with, other players that could lure at least some sort of relief. But I'll put it this way. For the popular names that were out there, among them Colin Sexton, I don't think the right move was out there immediately. But, hey, I'm not the one back there back channel making calls in the GM office, trying to figure out what the right move is at that particular juncture.
Well,
we keep leaving out, too, Mo Wagner's injury, I think, is the biggest thing we're not talking about. And I think that when he's back healthy, they'll have that opportunity to kind of move things around with some of the other big men, maybe to bring someone in.
Okay.
So.
Now, the Orlando Magic, they play tonight. We'll be carrying that game right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM as they play the Washington Wizards at home. Now, Orlando has had or is given an easier schedule this second half of the year. We saw them have a good showing against the Atlanta Hawks, and then they lose in a heartbreaker to the Memphis Grizzlies. And it seems since Franz and Paolo have gotten back in the lineup since returning from those oblique injuries, Orlando really hasn't been able to figure it out as of yet. Can you pinpoint to maybe a reason or two why that's been?
Yeah, listen, we know basketball is a game of runs, RJ, but at some point when you're up 9 points with 4.5 left in the game and you blow a lead and people are talking about, you should have called timeout, this and that. Listen, that's adorable. Stop blowing leads. How about that? Right. Can we start there, please?
Yeah.
If you leave stuff like that out of the equation, I don't want to call it killer instinct. I mean, that's kind of a cheap thing, but I am going to go back to one easy excuse I can throw out that I think is valid. This team is young, right? Mistakes like, hey, calling timeout and, Cole Anthony after a game saying we weren't on the same page tells me everything I need to know about the situation. Complain about the individual elements you want. That's what I heard. That's what I'm going with. That's what happened. But it's the kind of stuff you expect with a young team. Maybe they thought they had it in the bag after Goga got that shot, to go up 9 in the fourth quarter. I don't think there's something you can just say. I mean, we can all say the popular best hits, right? Hey, you need to shoot better. Well, duh.
Right.
Who doesn't?
Right.
But this was a game where they actually shot the three-point shot better than the Grizzlies, believe it or not. I know, I was shocked, too, to see it, but that's what happened.
Right.
But at day's end, I think it's youth more than anything else, and maybe this is another contributing factor why they just they're putting this year in the wash, so to speak.
Continuing our conversation with Kyle Nash, does a great job writing all things Orlando Magic. Make sure to follow him on Twitter at @TheSOTG. How bad does Orlando need, who I feel is the heart and soul of that team, Jalen Suggs? How bad do they need him back in the lineup?
I mean, that's the one thing that could provide the most relief. That's the lowest thing on the tree, right? And he's missed, I feel like it's like 22 was the streak of games. It's crazy. Quad injuries are difficult, but, man, he's taken a while to come back. And, the element of giving up big leads partially is involved with defense. Jalen Suggs brings a ton of that. I mean, you hit the nail on the head that with him being a big deal for this squad.
Now, do you think that the Orlando Magic, that they can figure this out before we get to the playoffs? I do think this is a play-in team. I do believe that they're going to make the playoffs, but I do feel that there's an opportunity that maybe they don't need to play in that play-in round and they could be a 6 seed. Heck, maybe they can even be a 5 seed if they put a little bit of a run together. Is this going to be a team that you feel can figure this out by the time we get towards the end of the year? And then once we go into the playoffs, this is going to be a team that's going to be looked at as one that squads aren't going to want to see in the first round?
I mean, if they make the playoffs, they are going to be that squad. I don't think there's a middle ground. Too many coaches are still scarred or observed what Jamal Mosley did with this group without Paolo, Suggs, and Franz all there at the same time. You got to say Franz because Mo's still there, right?
Right.
But
Right.
Get all that together. Seeing what they did to beat a Boston team, granted without Jason Tatum, to beat a Knicks team, granted without Karl Anthony Towns, to beat some of the squads, surprise them the way that they did, you got to at least be a little worried about them. And, hey, playing the Magic in the playoffs, nobody wants that anyway because of their physical play. You may beat them and outscore them eventually, but you're going to get some bumps and bruises to do it in the marathon that would be, well, not only NBA season, but the postseason as well. Going 7 games in a Magic series is a daunting and grueling task.
Finishing up our conversation with Kyle Nash as he joins us here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM's Open Gym. So you'll be at the game tonight against the Washington Wizards. Just give us your keys to victory for the Orlando Magic as they face a Washington Wizards team that is looking more towards the future than they are the here and now.
That's a very political way to put it, R.J. Saunders. Well done. Listen, the main thing they got to do is not kick their own butt.
Okay.
Finish shots, hold leads, don't let teams back in the game. Be angry about what happened against the Grizzlies and then capitalize on it. Use it to build your confidence, stack some wins because You mentioned the easy schedule upcoming, and they got a lot of games at home upcoming. That's very fair. But remember, the final games on their schedule are the Celtics and the Hawks. Okay, that Hawks game is going to be big because that might decide whether or not one team wins the series between the two for tie breaks or not.
Right.
In a close Eastern Conference, and then of course Boston is Boston. So there's that.
Now, before we let you go, just tell the listeners how they can continue to follow you and the great things you're doing, not only with the Orlando Magic, but with the UCF Knights and the things that you're doing there and covering the team. How can folks get a hold of you and your great work?
Hey, an honor, joy, and privilege, RJ, to jump in the open gym. Of course, Kyle Nash is doing the game. The SOTG on Twitter, Instagram, Thread, and Blue Sky, as well as doing the game on Facebook. And check out Fans First Network, where I have not only my Orlando Magic stuff, but some Jacksonville Jaguars out there, as well as the Duval Dive podcast, and, of course, blackandgoldbanneret.com for my UCF work with the Night Shift podcast as well. RJ, I had a great time. Looking forward to the next one. But till then, my friend, class dismissed.
Absolutely. There he goes, Kyle Nash. He may be a student of the game, but he is one of our Orlando Magic insiders. Now, the NBA finds themselves in another conundrum outside of trying to find a new face of the NBA. They may have to change their all-star format again, but could this be one that works? We'll discuss right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
From the driving range to the 18th green, it's Brunch with the Tour.
Well done. You've got to be kidding.
Tour news, tips, and inside info brought to you by
Clearwater Irrigation, 8:30 Tuesday morning on 1010XL.
These days, we do everything from our phones. That's why JEA's app lets you manage your utility services anytime, anywhere. Whether you want to view your account, pay your bill, sign up for programs, or check the outage map, you can do it all right from the app, when and where it's convenient for you. Because we want to make doing business with us as quick and easy as possible. Download the free JEA app from the App Store today. JEA, your community, your utility.
Gun charges, drug charges. I'm attorney Malcolm Anthony, and I specialize in handling these types of felony cases. Stay out of trouble, but if you don't, call me at 285-4LAW. That's 285-4LAW.
Experience the high-flying action truly unlike anything on the Supercross circuit at Daytona Supercross. Saturday, March 1st. Side-by-side intensity of Monster Energy AMA Supercross on the most demanding track of the circuit. Get close to the action as riders get pushed to the limits on the Ricky Carmichael designed track. For a chance to win tickets to Daytona Supercross, answer this. Who won the 450 final Supercross at Daytona in 2024? Text the winner's last name to 641-1010 now.
Your radio highlight reel.
Caught for the touchdown.
1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Mia here. Since 1982, Closets by Design has specialized in creating dream spaces for every budget. My designer, Frances, made the process so easy. She came to my house and designed a beautiful walk-in closet that's already so incredibly functional for me and old Beau Valentine. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation at 1-800-293-3744 or visit closetsbydesign.com. And take advantage of extended savings this month. Get 40% off and another 15% off with 18-month special financing.
If you suffer from constant burning, tingling, or numbness in your hands or feet, it could be a serious condition called neuropathy. I'm Dr. Nathan Riddle, DC with Riddle Wellness in Ponte Vedra. Neuropathy is treatable, and we have seen great results by using state-of-the-art, non-invasive therapies to target damaged nerves, reduce symptoms, and improve nerve function. Call 904-395-5598 to schedule your free consultation today and learn how you can live pain-free. Call 904-395-5598.
Hey, Hicken here, or just call me Dreamfinders Danny. For a limited time to ring in the new year, Dreamfinders Homes is offering an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down that rate and get in the game. You heard me right. It's 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for more details.
Okay, for this Cannons of Jacksonville commercial, we need an idea to really come out with a bang.
Like having a guy shot out of a cannon.
Nah, too messy. In fact, Cannons is known for all your towing needs.
So like my car won't start.
No. Towing products. Cannons does custom welding fabrication and installation of trailer hitches, goosenecks, tow bars, truck racks.
So you might say Cannons is my best shot at finding that inventory in stock?
Boom. You said it.
Visit cannonsofjacks.com.
Hey, folks, Hicken here for Zero Res. And if you still have a little bit of time for the hottest price of the year on carpet cleaning, maybe you had people over for the game or you're doing early spring cleaning. But in February, only $147 for 3 rooms, plus the 4th room is free. That's right. Schedule now and you'll get 3 rooms for $147, and the 4th room is free. Yeah, the 4th room is on me. Hottest price of the year. Zero Res. Spell it forward, spell it backwards. Zero Res. It's the right way to clean.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Mia here. You want to know what I'm so over? Resolutions. You want to know what I am into? The Revolution, hitting the road in a new Toyota from Arlington Toyota. So what do you say? Join the Arlington Toyota Revolution and save big with financing as low as 0% on select new models. Or get up to $8,500 off select new Toyotas. Plus, every new Toyota purchase from Arlington Toyota comes with Arlington's lifetime warranty and 60-day exchange. Shop in person on Atlantic Boulevard, just a quarter mile east of 295, or at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/0% for full details.
AA Automotive helps keep your vehicle in dependable and safe condition. Call Sam, Harry, or Joe, and they'll check your brakes, tires, fluids, electric, and motor, so your ride runs smooth on the road. That's AA Automotive on Richard Street.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Before we continue on with the program, just do want to thank you guys who listened in on Monday. First time we had a 2-hour show here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Who says that Jacksonville doesn't want to listen to basketball talk? Ha! It was a very great show. To those who did listen to the program, all 2 hours of it, we do thank you. And for those of you guys who listen religiously on Sunday mornings here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM, we thank you too. You guys have been the day ones of our program. So before we get out of here, do want to talk a little bit about the new potential All-Star game format, because the NBA may need to change this again. Yes, again. It seems that the players who weren't selected for the All-Star game gave their opinion as to what they thought on the new format. Then there were those such as LeBron James and Anthony Edwards who did not play, in my opinion, I believe because they didn't like the format either. It just wasn't because of injury. And I get it. The NBA needs something here. They've been grasping at straws, trying to make something worth the while of said All-Stars. Right? Something that's going to get their adrenaline flowing, and then also something that is going to make the fans excited, especially after what we've now seen with the NHL getting all this love now, even on ESPN. I have PK Subban on morning show TV now, like ESPN First Take and Get Up, talking about how much of a better product the NHL is than the NBA. If you're going to change the format again, my question is it going to work? And this 1v1 tournament style format seems to be gaining the attention of a lot of these guys. Well, before I give my thoughts on it, here's Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce on the possibility of a 1v1 tournament and how that would look for them.
Put something on it, like, yeah, fresh million. Yeah, who want to come out and play once for the million?
10.
Who want a million?
10.
10 million? 10 million. Everybody named Mama goes, you might sign up.
Man,
Slow down. You ain't doing nothing.
10 million.
They on that little one leg shit. Know what I told you?
10 million, I'm in there.
You got this one? How many you betting to sign up?
Well, it has to be a limited number of participants. So let's say 30.
So how you doing it? Me and you?
We go on
I score, boom, you off?
We go on to 7.
Score off?
No, we got to go to 7. A bracket
like
style.
Me and you, 1-1? Ha ha ha?
Yeah, go to 7.
Nah, I'm talking about like I got a line of.
No, it ain't a line. It's just our game with half court.
Hit me out.
And this game half court.
No, my version. This is my version.
All right, let me hear.
Half court. Got a line of seniority. Me and you flip a coin. Ding. Boom. P, you get the ball first. Kevin, you OD first. Boom. Stop. Oh, okay, you off. You stop.
So knockout verse sound.
Yeah,
and you gotta go. You gotta go to 30. All right. So once you get past half court, you got 6 seconds.
You got time limit now?
Yeah, because it's too much going on.
Too much dribbling?
Yeah, it's too much dribbling, dog.
Do 10 seconds then.
No, it's
8 seconds.
5 seconds.
8 seconds. 5 seconds, Lord. It take 5 seconds to walk.
It's ones. Once we pass half court,
let me come.
4, 3,
listen.
2.
See, you
we gotta keep everything moving, though. People watching.
Nah, your ass on 8 seconds of defense. Yeah.
You're gonna have to get in shape for this.
Yeah, it's 10. It's for the 10.
Right.
So put $10 million on the line, 8-second clock, about 30 guys, and make a bracket. Here's the question. Are guys willing to put their egos to the side and play this game in this type of format? Now, this is way out in left field than doing a 4-team format. This is way out there than playing in a East versus West style competition. The playground, we make 2 captains and they choose the teams. This is way different than that. However, if anyone's saying that they would be interested in that, here's Jaren Jackson Jr. of the Memphis Grizzlies talking about his excitement for that type of an event and who he'd like to face in a 1v1 tournament.
Oh, Kyrie.
Yeah. Tell me how that's going to go. In your head.
I've already talked to him about this. We talk about it all the time. One time we went out to dinner and talked about it, and then another time, last time I was in an All-Star game, we talked about it. I just said, bro, like, you're doing all this. Like, I said, I'm just going to stay still. Like, if I stay still, I'm fine. Because, like, you're not, I feel like if you go by me, like, I feel like you're trying to make a show out of everything. Like, you want me to move my feet. And I'm just going to stay still no matter what you do. Like, I'm just going to, you know what I mean? If you try to get by me, I'm just going to try to get the chase down, or I'm just going to force you into the step back you like. And there's other things. I mean, obviously, he's amazing. It sounds simple. But I would definitely challenge Kyrie because I think he's just insane. He's insane.
Someone's going to get embarrassed. In the All-Star game, let's not act like it hasn't been a one-on-one event or that it gets towards being a one-on-one event. This is just something that the guys of today probably don't like. LeBron doesn't want to go against Curry in an All-Star game. I have to play him 4 times during the regular season. I'm not going to play lockdown defense on the greatest shooter God's ever created in an All-Star game. Kyrie Irving against Luka Doncic, or let's say Kyrie Irving against Donovan Mitchell. You know, you can go one-on-one against one another. Kyrie crosses you over. He hits a jump shot. It's not like guys weren't giving the ball back to the player who got scored on before and saying, okay, now it's your turn. Let's see what you can do. It's not in today's game anymore. Are guys willing to put their names behind it at this point? I don't know. The NBA may try this, though. Due to the fact that I don't think the NBA is trying to break the glass in case of an emergency, the U.S. versus an international game, which on ESPN they've been talking about a lot now. Stephen A. Smith, Michael Wilbon, and others. I don't think the NBA wants to speak the words The U.S. is not better than the international player. But as every business, you have to go back to the drawing board. If something isn't working out, you got to try something different. I don't think the NBA, though, I don't think they haven't been trying new things. Again, they've done a little bit of everything. Captains, East-West, 4-team format, play to 40. Nothing seems to pique the interest of these players. So here's my idea. And Dylan can write this down and trademark it so that if the NBA comes up with this idea, they owe us. All right? The law offices of Denmark and Saunders. I don't think incentivizing equals harder play. It just doesn't. So you can leave that kind of talk on Moncrief or somewhere in the Florida Keys. I know, Dylan, yes. You can leave that talk somewhere in Jacksonville, just not here on Hogan. Okay? $10 million isn't going to move these guys when they're making $100, $200, $300, $400 million a year. However, to a G League guy, it could. And I think if you did that, you may have something. Because this is not a team thing anymore. This is now one-on-one. We have 30 guys. 15 are G Leaguers. Winner gets the $10 million. But if a G League guy wins, not only does he get the $10 million, he gets a roster spot for the rest of the year. As much as the NBA doesn't want their players losing to international born guys, you can't lose to a G Leaguer, right? These NBA guys, I think you have to incentivize them by giving them something to lose. And for those who say there's a reason why they're in the G League, well, really? Because Mac McClung is a 3-time winner, plays in the G League, out-dunking maybe not the best of NBA talent, but it says something that, A, your best talent doesn't want to be in the dunk contest to begin with, and B, you need a G League guy to bring out some sort of spark in the dunk contest. The 505, you're crazy. 10 million moving everyone. To who? LeBron James is going to be the first, billionaire athlete in NBA history? 10 million is probably going to a charity. It's not going to him. He's not saving that. College fund? For what? I could buy a college and let my kids go. Jalen Brunson? Really? We're trademarking it. We're going down to the courthouse now. Dylan and I are going to make a boatload of money on this. NBA, be ready. 15 G Leaguers, 15 NBA stars. 10 million on the line.
We'll visit the jail while we're there.
I don't know if I want to do that. For Dylan Denmark, I'm RJ Saunders. This has been Open Gym. We will talk to you next week on Sunday from 11 to noon. Thank you guys for joining us, talking a little round ball here in the 904.